Great to see you guys. Brent called me today. I don't know what country he was in, but he said, Rick, would you jump on the sales call real quick? And he talked to me a little bit about it. And I'm super excited to do this because this is always on the tip of my tongue. It's not something I have to practice. I think most of you know me. If you don't, something really cool is about to happen. That is Monday. This coming Monday, the 15th, will be my 43rd anniversary selling real estate. 43 years. And some of you aren't even 43 years old. So that means I started before you were born. And some of you are past that. But fact is, I've done a lot of this and I'm still learning. And I'm learning from a lot of different people with different levels of experience. But right now, let's talk about right now and what we can do. The way I understand this call is that this call is designed to give you a few things that you can walk away from the call with, put into activity or into action right away, and create different results for yourself. Here's what I'm finding. My coach and I both coach for a independent coaching company called Workman Success Systems. And the nice thing about that is we're coaching top teams all over the country. And so we're learning from them as well as coaching them on systems, operations, profit margins, but also about lead generation and recruiting. If you're running a real estate sales team, you know, forget for a minute that we're with EXP. Forget that. Put that aside for a minute. If you're running a real estate sales team, recruiting is a vital part of creating a successful team, recruiting quality agents. When I'm recruiting people to EXP, I'm looking, are they of the level that would be on my team? Because that takes a lot more than just me having you join EXP with me. So it's a bigger standard if you see what I see, if you know what I mean. I really want them to be these four things: hungry, humble, smart, and coachable. Hungry, humble, smart, and coachable. The reason I said that twice is I'm hoping you'll write those four words down. And the reason I want you to write those four words down is because I want you to ask yourself on a daily basis. It's something I work on, especially after this many years in the business. The more years you have, the more experience you have, whether you have success or not, or you're hitting a wall, you still start to get out of being hungry, humble, smart, and coachable. If you are, then you're taking yourself out of the game. You're not willing to learn. You're not willing to shut up and listen to others. You're not willing to take on what's possible out there. And right now, everybody is being humbled by the market. If that's your deal, if you want to sell more real estate and create more results, a lot of the best people in the industry have been humbled by this market. It's okay. All right. We can all be humbled. It's all right. It's a matter of activities, and activities lead to results. I listened to a guy talk the other day and he goes, look, results are all that matter. And I would disagree with him, but it wasn't my place to. He was doing the speaking, not me. I say that activities matter. And if you need to tweak them, if you're not checking your activities and tweaking them so that you can create better results. I'm going to give you an example. When I ran a real estate office in the 90s, me and my training director did a class on door knocking, how to geographic farm, how to door knock. We did all kinds of things like that. And one of the things that happened was about 3 or 4 weeks later, one of the kids that was in the class, and he was really young, new to real estate, came back and said, oh my gosh, Rick, Rusty, I've knocked on 1,000 doors and I haven't gotten one lead. So what was the first thing that went into my head? First thing that went through my head is, no way did he do 1,000 doors. Number two was, if he did do 1,000 doors, what the heck was he saying that he didn't get one lead out of 1,000 doors? But he first had to get me over the credibility issue that he actually knocked on 1,000 doors. So when I pulled him into the office, him and Rusty and I sat down with him. Rusty was my training director. We said, how do you know you knocked on 1,000 doors, dude? That's a big claim. I know people that have been in the business 5 years and haven't knocked on 1,000 doors. And he said, oh, he pulls out this folder. He's got it all tracked on yellow pads, like Brent Gove, like yellow pads of paper, tracked it all. So we had to give him a lot of kudos for what he did do. He tracked what conversations he had. You know, when somebody started talking to him, he tracked that. He wrote the address down. He did all kinds of great things. But we had him stand outside the door for a minute, and we shut the office door and we said, hey, knock on the door as if you're knocking at our door, and we'll open it up, and you do whatever you've been doing. So he knocks on the door, we open it, and he leans in like this and he goes, you're not thinking of selling your house, are you? Now, activities lead to results. Results don't get results. That was a Gary Keller quote. Results don't yield results. Activities yield results. All right. So you can say, oh, I sold a ton of houses last year. Well, that doesn't mean you're going to sell a ton of houses this year. Results don't get you results. So we were able to tweak what he was saying very simply, and he went out to be an amazing door knocker from then on. But guess what? We didn't have to tweak. We didn't have to tweak that he was hungry, humble, smart, and coachable. He already had the desire to be organized and all of those things. But here's what I want to say about today's market. Today's market, we're seeing this across the country, that people that are focusing on something we call the top 50, the 50 people in your database that are most likely to give you one referral a year. The more we get people focusing on that, we talked to a team the other day, they did 600 transactions a year. In 2023, they're on track to increase by 113 transactions, all coming from top 50. All right. The problem is that we all just assume the public knows what's going on. We're finding out that 34% of the public has no idea what's going on in the real estate market, and another 25% of what's left have misinterpretations of what's going on in the market. I talked to a guy the other day. He thinks he's right on top of the market. He goes, yeah, prices have been dropping, right? I go, yeah, prices were dropping last year until December. They've been going up since January. He said, oh, I didn't hear that. I go, that's because you're supposed to talk to me, not listen to the news. So we've got to do a lot more conversations with people, but we have to disguise them as conversations with people about how they're doing. How many of you know what the Ford is? F-O-R-D. Please say something or raise your hand if you know what that is. If you don't, it's family, occupation, recreation, dreams. Have conversations with your people, everybody in your database, everybody in your phone, and just ask them those things. What's going on in your family? What's going on in your job? What are you guys doing for fun? Hey, what do you hope's going to happen in the future? The more forward conversations you have, the more real estate you're going to sell. I promise you that. There's a direct correlation. So some of you already got to remember, in real estate, and as Brent Gove says, in life, you need 4 pillars of income. Well, in real estate, you need 4 pillars of income. The number one pillar for me on my sales team is referrals, but I can break that referral up into 2 different sections: referrals from consumers and referrals from real estate agents, because they both take a different kind of concerted effort. Do you get that? So if that's my main pillar, what's the second pillar? Maybe open houses, maybe internet leads, maybe all of these different things you could be doing. What I want you to focus on right now is the pillar that's worked the most for the most people over the longest period of time, and that's your top 50. That means you have to have built a database from which you can extract 50 of the best people, the people that are most likely, and then start top grading it. If one of those people doesn't give you a referral in a year, then you get a better one that will give you a referral in the year. Now, what I'm going to promise to do is to send Rob Blitzinger, who is the literally right, left arm, and both legs of the Brent Gove organization. I'm going to send him something called the booklet called Top 50 that you can read. It's 36 pages long. It's amazing. And then I'm also going to send you what's called the Top 50 initiative, so you can track the different things you can do. There's a lady that coaches for us, but she is also coached by us, and her name is Tammy Slay. She blew up this program so well that in 2022, get this, truth, tracked and provable, she got 104 referrals from 37 people in her top 50 and closed 76 of them in 2022. This is a fact. This isn't made up. We had to, every time anybody says something on a coaching call, Referral, the owner of Workman Success System, makes us show the tracking and where it was done. This is a viable, easy, simple to do. Now, Tammy spends a lot of money on her top 50. She sends a beautiful gift every month. Like, I was at my buddy's house, who's her coach, and she sends it to him also in this beautiful bag of different kinds of popcorn with all kinds of little decorative stuff flying out of it. And I thought, gosh, if she's sending that to 50 people every month, that could be pricey. It was probably $5, $6. Well, that's really not that pricey when you think it's $5, $6 each. She's sending it to 50 people, $300-400. But look at the yield she's getting. But she worked it up. She started with just forward conversations and then worked it up till that. Now, remember this, there's less mail by 60% in your client's mailbox now over 10 years ago. Did you know that? 60% less mail in their mailbox. So guess what? Postcards, letters, handwritten notes, they're working better than they have before. Now, I know there's a lot of people on here that are younger. Video still works. Video works better than it ever has. So if you're sending somebody a text, don't type it. Speak into your camera. Let them see your face. Screw it up. Who cares? Send it anyway. A lot more of that, because believe me, I'm talking to the people that know social media, and video is the best thing ever. I'm talking to my guy that helps me with internet leads, and he's saying, Rick, we're going to get you more organic leads. We're going to have you on video more often, things like that. So what I want you to do, if you do nothing else after you leave this call, is to ask Rob to send you the top 50 stuff, because I'm going to send it to him in about 20 minutes. And then do this. Start using it. Using it. Remember this saying, everything works, nothing doesn't. Everything works, nothing doesn't. Quit paying attention to all that crap in your email box and start doing the simple, basic things that will bring you business over a long period of time. And people say, Rick, does that work? And then I always want to say this, do you work? That's the question. All right. Dedicated 1 hour a day, no interruptions, phone down of lead generation, minimum 5 days a week. And if you're going to door knock, make it a minimum of 3 hours. All right. Real quick, for any questions, ahas, comments, thoughts. You guys are so loud, it's killing me. Okay.
Hey, I will say, Rick, for all those people that want the booklet, if you'll email Brent Gove Mail, brentgovemail@gmail.com, Brent Gove, Gove mail, mail @gmail.com. I'll respond to it once I get it from Rick and get you that booklet.
Okay. And is that you, Rob? Is office you? Oh, no, that's Rob.
No,
Please send.
Brent
Okay.
Gove on here. Yeah.
Okay. No, I mean on the chat. Yeah. Okay. I'll just send it to you, Rob. I've got your personal email.
Send it to me, and then if you want it, just email brentgovemail@gmail.com and I'll reply and get it to you. Okay, good. All right, guys. If you have any last minute questions, now's a good time to ask me. Who said this? Oh, here's one. Do you suggest cold calling? And if so, do you suggest a dialer? Which one? Okay, so I'm a big fan of cold calling, but I'm not a big fan of dialers, only because they didn't work for me. And I'm talking going back 15, 20 years when they first started coming out. I think that if you're good with a dialer, to go for it. It's a little more expensive. I'm happy with the Red X one. I'm happy with the Vulcan one. What's the one that starts with M? I don't know if it was Mojo. Yeah, Mojo was one. Yeah, my wife's here giving me cues. So I think that's great. But remember, what is it that you in your mind call a cold call? Every time I pick up the phone, I find a reason to call it a warm call because it makes me more comfortable inside when I'm making the call. You got that? Like, your mindset's the most important thing. If I'm about to make a call where I don't know the person, I can call it a warm call because I'm about to supply them with really great, valuable information that doesn't include, hey, you want me to list your house? That's a warm call. Okay. Hi, my name's Rick. I appreciate you taking my call real quick before you hang up. I'll say that. People tell me, oh, don't say that, Rick. You're giving them the idea to hang up. I go, no, I'm having fun with it. They hang up. I call them back and I say, I'm sorry. I was on my cell phone. I think we lost connection. When I know damn well they hung up. You got it? Like, come on, let's have some fun, guys. Let's not worry about our confidence or our ego. Let's just go out and get people to talk to us. That's all. And not everybody's going to want to. So, remember that this is my favorite story from when I was younger. When the waitress comes to the table and says, would you like some coffee? And you say no, she doesn't go to the back of the restaurant and start crying. Okay. Let's remember, no is not personal. All right. I got to run. I love you guys. I hope you'll use this information. I'll send it to Rob. You get busy on it. Rob, thanks so much for inviting me.